The Tragic Tale of Oche and Ene, Part 1. Oche, a 26-year-old young man from the peaceful village of Otukpo in Benue State, Nigeria, was living a simple but fulfilling life. He lived with his family in a humble mud house, surrounded by the lush greenery of the fertile land where they cultivated yams, maize, and cassava. Every day, Oche would go to the farm to work hard, knowing that the fruits of his labor would sustain his family. Though life was tough, Oche found happiness in his girlfriend, Ene. She was the light of his life, a bright, gentle soul who shared his hopes and dreams. They had been together for years, their love blossoming through the seasons. Every cool evening, they would meet by the riverbank, where the gentle sound of flowing water would serenade them. There, they would sit under the vast sky, sharing stories, laughter, and the warmth of their affection. Life was peaceful, and Oche believed that nothing could ever disrupt their love, until one fateful day. That day, as usual, Oche woke up early and prepared to head to the farm. It was a long walk, but he didn't mind. The land he worked on was where his family's survival rested. With his machete strapped to his waist, he set out, determined to clear the land for the next planting season. Little did he know, this day would bring tragedy. As he worked in the thick forest, a group of Fulani bandits ambushed him. Known for their violent raids, the bandits had been terrorizing the village for months, robbing, kidnapping, and killing anyone in their path. Oche fought back fiercely, using his machete and his wits, but there were too many of them. His efforts were in vain. They overwhelmed him, injuring him badly with their knives and machetes before fleeing into the dense forest. In pain, blood dripping from his wounds, Oche could barely stand, but despite the agony, his mind raced with thoughts of Ene. He had promised to meet her at the river that evening. He knew he couldn't make it to her like this, but he couldn't bear the thought of her waiting for him in vain. Meanwhile, Ene was already at the riverbank, her eyes scanning the horizon, hoping to catch sight of Oche coming toward her. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, but he didn't come. The minutes stretched into hours, and as the night grew darker, her heart began to pound with unease. Something wasn't right. At that moment, a figure appeared from the shadows, staggering toward the river. It was Oche, but he was barely recognizable. His clothes were torn and his face was pale from blood loss. His steps were faltering, but he was determined to reach Ene, the love of his life. But as he stumbled closer, tragedy struck. In a final act of cruelty, the bandits had left something behind for Ene to find. The sight of Oche in his broken state, unable to speak, unable to comfort her. She rushed to his side, her hands trembling as she tried to stem the bleeding. But it was too late. Her heart shattered as she realized that the love they shared would never be the same again. The once peaceful village of Otukpo would never forget the day Oche fell victim to the bandits, and Ene's life would be changed forever. To be continued. Watch out for Part 2, where the journey of vengeance, healing, and survival begins.